Okay, so in this stream, the goal is to get a minimum viable product for the Infinite Journeys challenge, so that if something were to go horribly wrong, we or I will have a render that's at least half decent. So that's the goal for today. So to achieve that, we have to add in a character here, and we have to add some trees here, and then from there I'm going to play around with the lighting, and then I will go into the detail work. Like, then the minimal viable product is done if I have these things, and then I can move on to perfecting, basically. And maybe I'm also going to create my own character. I've never sculpted a character before, or I have once, but it didn't look any good. So yeah, maybe I will try sculpting a character as well. But for the minimum viable product, I'm just going to add in a character that's maybe generated with Make Human, or I'm just going to download one from Mixamo, just so I don't have the stress of not having a finished product, a finished render. So I'm just going to turn on cavity so I can see the different objects better. Okay, so last time I wasn't able to put in the trees, or I would have been able, but I didn't want to, because I already had a tree model and I found it now, but the textures are missing, so I'm just going to append them in and then redo the textures. So this is it. It doesn't look very nice from in close-up, but in the distance it's completely fine. So let's just switch into rendered view. I think this is a pine tree. Yes, and you can see here the textures missing, so I'm just going to search a new one on Ambient CG. For all of you that do not know what that is, this is a website where you can basically get completely free and CC0 textures. The CC0 means that you can use them, and I think also, yes, without attribution to the creator. So you're totally free to do anything you want with them. That's why I used them. Okay, let's search for pine bark. No, they don't have this texture. Maybe just bark. Okay, which one? I actually don't know how pine bark looks, now that I think about it. Maybe I'm just going to Google that first so I can pick the texture that's closest. Okay. Let's see. I think from afar this one is good. I think this is something, I don't know from which tree. It's not pine, but if I change the colors, well, it could be pine. So I'm just going to use this texture. Okay, while that's downloading, I'm going to start distributing these trees around this landscape here, and I have found that yeah, and I'm going to do that with geometry nodes. The particle system would be completely fine for this, I think, but I'm going to do it with geometry nodes, because I have found that with the particle system, it is somehow a little bit slower maybe that's I have wrong day something that is wrong maybe, but I'm still going to do it with geometry nodes. Point instance. Okay, I don't actually have that much experience with geometry nodes. So I think this one is distribute points on faces. I think this one is no, but I have the wrong object selected. Remove that. I have to add it in here. I think we'll duplicate this, move it into backup, so I can make changes to it in the future if I wish to, but then I'm going to apply the multi-res modifier. Okay, so let's add in a distribute points on faces here, and that's taking a while. Oh, by the yeah. Okay, maybe that's completely wrong. That geometry nodes is somehow faster. And okay, let's. Videos very choppy or something, or if you can even hear me. Let's see what we can do here. Because maybe, oh yes, okay, now I can basically end the process blender like this. Okay, sometimes this does corrupt the files, so I can't open them again, but yeah, this time it did. So I'm just going to do it with a particle system again, because that does not freeze my computer. So let's see what we can see from the window, and we will only put the trees where we can actually see them. So this, and from the beginning and the end. Okay, let's select this too, and that should be good. Okay, and this, then we're going to add in a vertex group and assign this, so the trees are only going to be distributed here where we can see them, so we don't waste any resources. And then we have to go down to vertex groups and select density here, this the vertex group that we created, and then the trees or hairs in this here are only going to be distributed where we assigned these faces to the group, or these vertices. Okay, render, choose collection, and then collection trees. Okay, these are rotated wrong, but we can solve that by clicking advanced, checking rotation, global Z, and then checking object rotation. So these are a little bit small, so I'm going to look how big this one is. It's only 9.28 meters, so I'm going to Google what the real world scale of pines is. Pine height, let's see, no, this one, how tall, 50 and 70 feet. So what's that in meters? Feet to, oh no, wrong, feet to meters. Let's see, let's say 70. Okay, I'm going to scale this one up to 70, yeah, like 20 something meters. And then I'm going to adjust the scale of these so they match the scale of this. So let's scale them up. Maybe I shouldn't give them that big of a scale because I want them to look far away, so that yeah, maybe like, no, like this is good, I think, like this. And do I see the beginning of the trees here? I do think so, so I'm going to select a little bit more now, like this, and then assign our group, and then let's see, I still see the beginning, but maybe that's just because I don't have enough trees. Oh, I can feel my computer getting slower again, so I'm going to hide these trees. And then I'm going to add in children, because children are much lighter on the calculation of these, I think. In the viewport I'm only going to display one, and let's unhide them again because I need to change a few settings still. I have to turn up the randomize. That's going to, the more I drag this, the more they go like yeah, the more they can randomize their X and Y rotation, and then the phase, that is just their Z rotation. And if I randomize the phase, then they're going to basically rotate randomly on the Z axis. So let's disable this tree collection. Okay, and then I'm going to hide the trees on the plane, and I think our texture is downloaded now, so I can copy that to my texture folder, which is here, and then textures, Control V, and extract here, Bark 001 4K. Okay, so I'm going to go into shading, the bark material, and remove the old material, and Control Shift T to open up a whole texture at once. Put the node ring glide on, and yeah, just like this. Let's see if that worked, or if we need to UV unwrap it or something, or if it already is. Okay, that's looking, well, not so good. So I'm going to have to select all of this, and switch into UV editing so I can let's see, I think maybe why is L not selecting? Oh, I have to select one and then, oh, okay. So I don't think this is going to work like this, or maybe it is. And then this last what's it called, branch, then smart UV project. Okay, maybe I need to apply the scale first, because that always, or not always, but most of the time affects the UV unwrapping, but this time not. That's okay. Just scale it up. Let's see. And I know this tree's looking kind of quadratic, maybe, but that's not going to be noticeable from afar. So I think this is enough, and let's see when the denoiser kicks in. Okay, yeah, I think this is okay, and I'm going to hide this tree collection again, and then switch back here. And I think I should render with the trees, do a test render with the trees enabled, but I don't know. Okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it with 4 cores and resolution 50%. And yes, let's see if we have enough trees, because I don't want to put them in the viewport, because that slows down Blender to a point where I can't even hide them again. Okay, so I can clearly see that they're way too big here. So I'm just going to decrease their scale to something smaller, and also the scale randomness, I'm going to turn that up. So render image again, and let's see how it looks. So now they look. Now maybe I shouldn't try to fake the distance and everything, because it's going to be much more realistic if I actually have that distance. So at the moment this thing here is only 34 meters, which isn't as big as it should. So what I'm going to do is, let's see. So this here has real world scale. So this one has a good scale, but this here isn't really the distance that would be, not really the real distance that would be between this train and these mountains. If this distance were like this in real life, you would, I think, just see the mountains and nothing else. So I'm going to move these mountains back a lot, like location. Let's see what we got. Okay, now they are 3 kilometers away. Maybe that's a little bit much. Maybe like, yeah, 1,500 meters. That's good. And now these mountains can be much bigger. So I'm going to put the scale to 140 for all of this. 140, 140, 140. And like, so that I have an even scale on all axes. And then I'm going to scale them up to real world mountain heights and width. So I think I did something wrong. Yes, I did something wrong here, and like this, and then just copy this and paste. Okay, let's see. Now they will be way too small from the train, but it's already looking a little bit more realistic, I think, at least. So I'm going to scale them up. What are average? Oh, I have look activated. Average mountain height. Yes, 300 meters. Okay. Well, then we would already have the correct scale. No, we are a little bit too small still. So I'm going to scale them up like this. Yeah, 500 meters. The other one is going to be 300. Then also here 300, and this one is going to be the small one at 250, I think, or something like that. So let's move them back and rearrange them so that they look like they are much, so that it looks like there are much more trees, mountains than there actually are. Okay, let's see how it looks. Can only do this in render view because the mountains will not show in the viewport. Okay. Maybe this is, yeah. Okay, let's see. I'm going to put this here so that they actually touch each other. So let's see how that looks. That looks pretty not that convincing because they hover. But if I stretch the ground plane to here, then it's going to be much more realistic, and the scale is going to work with real life values. Okay, let's scale this one up on the Z axis, and let's duplicate this one, and let's see how it looks. Not very good. Okay, like this maybe, but this should be, this should be here, so I arranged them the wrong way. So let's see, first frame, last frame. Okay, you always have a few mountains inside, but I think I should move one more mountain here so that I can block the view here, because we don't want anyone to know that our scene ends right after the mountains. Okay, duplicate x-axis like this. Let's skip to the first frame and the last frame. Okay, they're both looking good, so everything in between will as well. And then I'm going to stretch this back, or not this plane specifically, but I'm going to add in another plane and then scale it up, like to scale 50, no, scale 20, move it back and scale it up some more so it touches, basically almost touches the mountains, and we can't see that they are hovering anymore, which that did not work. Okay, I'm going to move it forward a bit still. Okay, this is like chugging my computer, like it's not very responsive, but that's expected if I'm working in rendered view. So let's see, let's just see it here. Then I'm going to have to maybe move this one up a little bit so it covers the beginning of the mountains. Maybe that doesn't look good at all, but I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, it doesn't look good at all. But I'm going to move it down a little bit. Let's see. No, it looks very fake. Okay, so I'm going to move it down again. Let's see, vertex, GC, then control click this, and then now it's flat again. Let's see. So the mountains now look like they are hovering. So I'm going to have to move them down, or actually put them on the ground plane. That would also be an idea. So I'm going to put this ground plane back and then move the mountains down so that they touch the ground plane. Like this. Let's see if they touch the ground plane. No, they don't. So I don't think... Well, yes, I'm actually going to move them down a little bit. And I'm going to make a little window where it renders, so it renders faster. So it doesn't have to render the whole frame. And so until it intersects with the ground a little bit. No, not X, like GZ. And then, now I see a shadow. Put it down a little bit, up a little bit. And down like this. Okay, obviously I don't want to do this for all of them, but I think I have to. Oh no, not Eevee. Eevee is always freezing my computer, so I'm a little bit scared to click that Eevee button every time. I just want to switch away from this. Okay. Or it doesn't freeze my computer, but it always makes it super slow, and yeah, because I don't have a dedicated GPU, which you probably can tell from my poor rendering performance here. But that's something I have to live with until I can afford a new computer, at least. Okay, I think they're no longer looking like they're hovering. Or are they? No, they aren't. Very nice. So, let's see. Okay. Cycles X really is a blessing here. Like, the new version of Cycles really absolutely awesome especially for machines like mine that don't render that fast. It still is like way more workable. Let's call it that. So now I'm going to apply the scale and then link the materials. Oh no, the other way, like this. Link materials. Yes, link materials. Okay, and then I also have to increase the scale of this, like something like what is the scale of this? 3000. Okay, 3000. Okay, now I'll just do 1000 here. Boom. This one, I think this should stay at 1, I think, because we didn't scale up we don't have anything on the z-axis, and I think that will just, yeah. Okay, so I see a few more shadows here, which I should probably remove. So I'm going to move it down a little bit more to Z, like this. And here's another one with a shadow. Let's move it down. Very nice. Okay. I also have to add another texture to these mountains, and with a little bit more variation and all of that. So now my challenge is I cannot distribute millions of trees across the face here, across all of this here. So I kind of have to cheat a little bit. So let's see what we can basically see. Okay, this one is a lot lower than this. So if I hide this glass for now, let's see what we actually see. And this let's call it mountain separator fog, and hide it as well. So let's see what we can actually see of our plane here, and I have to increase the distance that we can see on the camera, I think. If I can click it with the camera. Here it is. Let's see. We have to. That's already really far. Then maybe I need to increase clip start, like 0.01. Yes. Look at this. The glitches. If I put it really low, then it's really like glitching out here. But if I put it a little bit higher, then all the glitches disappear. Obviously I can't put it too high because then everything here will clip. But now I can see what we can see here. Okay, let's subdivide this plane a few times like this, so I have some vertices that I can, that I can select like this. Okay, let's see everything that we can see. And last frame, there's a bit more, and that's everything we can see. Let's select these. That's obviously, that is a lot, and I don't know if I have enough RAM to distribute trees all across this, but I will have to see. Also here we already have that. So let's copy our particle system to here, but I'm going to hide it first because I don't want any crashes. And now I'm going to make a new particle system from that old particle system, and well, I can actually show it. And then density this group. So now we don't have to cheat with our scale anymore, because now we have everything in real world scale. So let's see that I maybe duplicate this and then move it out of the trees collection, and then I'm going to move it to a different tree from the particle system and increase the scale until the scale is roughly the same as this tree here. Because then because I know this one has the correct real world scale, but I don't know about the instanced trees like this. Focus and move it up. Focus on that. And where do I have another tree like this? No, that was just a speck of dust on my computer screen. Like this. And then rotate it 90 degrees. And let's match the scale of these two. So that scale randomness to 0. So I know that, yes, like this about, and then I can increase the scale randomness to something like 0.15. So I don't know if someone is going to notice that this is the same tree instanced, well, in the future thousands of times. So that's going to be very interesting. I'm a little bit scared to hit render because I don't want the stream to crash. So for that reason, I'm going to open up HTOP, which is kind of the application monitor or something, or system resources monitor on Linux. So if this hits something like 13 gigs of memory, then I'm going to basically stop the process blender. Let's see. It's going up. Oh, it's rendering already. Very nice. That isn't too bad. Isn't that bad. I expected something like, yeah, I expected that it would basically use all of my RAM. But I can also see that I don't have enough trees. So I can't increase the tree count anymore with real geometry. So I'm going to do a trick, and I'm going to create a render of this tree and then instance a single plane with the image of that tree over the surface. And if we only view it from here, no one will notice that it isn't actually real geometry, but it will be much lighter on the system. So I'm going to create a new file for this, save it as tree render, and append the tree into here, collection trees, like this, and then rotate it on the y-axis by 90 degrees, minus 90 degrees, so it stands up, move it down, add in a camera like this, move it back, switch into camera view, and then I don't know if I want to make the camera orthographic or not. I'm guessing I should, but I'm not sure at all. So let's see what we can do here, like this. That's all I need. The resolution, I think I should change into orthographic. Yes, orthographic is the right way to go, I think. Like this. Move the camera up a little bit, the z-axis, so that we can see the complete tree. And let's see if we need any more resolution. Something like 3000 pixels times, yeah, well, 3000. And then how many can I? Yeah, 1900 is good. 1871 is also good. Let's save that as an OpenXR. Switch to cycles. Denoise, yes. The noise threshold, I'm going to put that up to 0.03 and put the background to full brightness, so we have completely even lighting on this tree. I don't know if it's smarter to have completely even lighting or to have the lighting that the scene is going to have where you're going to place it. I'm going to try both things, but since the lighting in the scene, in the Infinite Journeys project scene, isn't the lighting isn't done yet, so I'm just going to use this with a white background color and change it out later, or not if it looks good enough. So let's render this tree and let's see. Oh, I get tiles. Well, that's something to save RAM, but yeah. What? Am I not streaming anymore? Oh no, that wouldn't be so good. I think that I don't have. Oh, I'm using 8 cores, and that's why OBS can't handle the stream anymore. Let's close that. That's a very dumb mistake. I have to close it. Oh no. Okay, let's see if it's better now. Yes, now I am back to being okay, I think. Let's see if this is better. Okay, so I think my stream health should be back to normal. Well, hopefully it works. So let's open up Blender again and the tree render, and then I'm going to change the cost to 4 because I don't want this stream to go down again, because yeah, no one likes that. So I'm also going to put it to 60% or something, because it's far off in the distance and I don't actually need that many pixels. Let's render this, and I'm going to have a close eye on the live stream stats because I don't want the stream to crash. Let's see if I'm actually streaming or if I'm not. Yes, it seems it works. Let's see if I can see myself and mute that. Yes, the stream is working still. Yeah, okay. Perfect. Worried there for a little moment. So I think that is enough. Let's see. Yeah, no one's going to notice the noise from that far away. Okay, 3. Let's save that and open up the Blender Infinite Journeys file and import images planes, the tree XR. Let's see. And now I have to match the scale of this plane to the scale of the real tree. Let's do that in rendered view. Wait for it to update, and I do hope that this isn't crashing the stream again, because if it is, I don't like it. But oh well. Okay, like this. Okay, you can see the difference very clearly, which is not good, not that good at least, but it's, I'm going to replace it with something better later. So now I'm going to have to, okay, I'm going to switch to Eevee, which, let's see if how the system load looks. It's pretty heavy on everything. Let's see if my stream status goes back to something normal. Yes! It's excellent now. That's very nice. Okay. Okay, here it is. Now I can move the origin point to the lowest, to the bottom position of this tree stump or something. And then M flat trees. That's the collection name. Flat trees. Not flat trees. I just flat trees. And the tree collection, I can disable that as well. So here I'm going to leave the real trees, but here I'm going to distribute like thousands or millions of fake trees, like the flat trees. So here we go. Flat trees, and decrease this to something like 40 and boom. Sorry. It's good that I have a limiter on the stream, because else it would have blown out ear arrows. Okay. Give it a little bit of random rotation, but not too much, because if you give it too much, the illusion of it being actual real trees will break. Let's increase that, and let's see, 300. No problem. Oh. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to put this up to like 3000 now, or something like 2000, and then the children I'm going to put something like 50, which, let's see if Blender can handle this. Yes, it does. No problem. With no problem at all, which is surprising me actually. But it's just a flat plane, so yeah. Okay. And here I could also see that I did not have enough trees. I'm going to turn that up to 150, and I'm pretty sure that that is a little bit too much for us to display in the viewport, but I think I got it right. Yes, it's already slowing down. Yeah. Okay. So let's give it a test render, but first I have to check if I use how many CPU cores I use. It's 4. Okay, that's good. So that won't interrupt the stream. Yeah, it's still good. No, now it's poor again. Okay, I can render. serious issues that need attention. Okay, that's obviously not any good. Okay, I have to. I can't render on screen. Okay. Now that I know that, let's move on to. I will adjust these trees after the stream, I think. But for now, I'm going to focus on creating the character here. So, to do that, I need to. What do I need to do? Let's see. So I don't actually know how to sculpt a human, so let's try with make human, but they're like actually really, they aren't any good, or no, they are good, but they aren't high quality enough for me, I think. Let's see, human generator. I could use MBLab. I think MBLab has very nice quality. Humans, because I don't know, they just look more realistic, I think. I just have to download the add-on. Yeah. The site is kind of slow. That's oh no. Oh, I just thought that I wasn't all the time. What is this? Maybe I should turn down the quality of the music to something like 144p, which, oh no, my Wi-Fi is like completely crashing. Let's see if I can fix this. Let's see. Here, I'm going to try to create a USB, like go over Ethernet, but I don't actually have anything. Okay, I have to get myself an Ethernet cable. Let's see where I got something. Just searching. Here I have my Ethernet cable. Now I'm going to have to get the router from where it is and get it and put it a little closer to my PC, and let's see. Oh no, there's tape over the Ethernet connector because I normally never use any Ethernet. Let's see if I can remove it without opening up my laptop. Let's see. Got hooked on a little something here. Let's see if I can put it in. No, I can't put it in, sadly. Well, then I have to keep doing it over Wi-Fi, but it seems to be okay. So it's using a good amount of, oh no, drop frames. 38% of frames are dropped. Maybe that's a little bit too much load on my computer. Well, let's see if I can't fix it. Well, this so I think what I'm going to do is going to stop the stream, and then I'm going to try to fix it, and then I'm going to start streaming again, okay?